Start off tonight with breaking news in Sandy, where there's a large police response to a domestic disturbance and reported shooting. We're taking a live look toward the scene right now. This is off of Evans Street and Glover Court. You can see numerous police vehicles right there and fire trucks. Around 20 minutes ago, Sandy police said they have the suspect confined in a residence. And residents there have been asked to stay inside and lock their doors. We heard from a witness who lives in the area who said she heard gunshots and saw the suspected gunman.
It's rapid gunshots just over and over again, more than probably 8 to 10. And I looked outside, I heard people screaming. And so I looked out the window and there was this guy running up the hill from the back of our house, like back of our apartment complex. And he was running up the hill and he had something in his hand with the person next to him about this small. And I saw people running that way. They said, go, 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 and there's cops yelling.
Again, we're waiting on police for information on exactly what happened. Stay with KGW for the latest on this situation.
These were not just employees or union members. They were fathers, sons, friends, mentors, and co-workers who help build this facility and this community every single day.
In Longview, the recovery effort at the Nippon Dynawave plant is complete. 5 days after a chemical tank imploded, officials say all 11 victims have been identified. Investigators now begin the long process of determining what went wrong. 11 a.m. Tuesday, emergency responders raced to the plant after a chemical tank imploded, spewing a corrosive chemical solution known as white liquor. The dangerous conditions inside the mill prevented crews from immediately reaching some of those closest to the blast.
It's equally important that recovery efforts were conducted in a way that preserved the integrity of the scene and ensures investigators have the ability to fully determine what happened and get these families and this community the answers they deserve.
Well, in the midst of this tragedy, Sunday morning service is understandably solemn at Longview area churches. RJ Coulter was invited to one of those services as the community starts the slow process of healing.
Sunday service here at New Hope City Church dedicated to the 11 men who were tragically killed at the mill on Tuesday. The community finding solace in each other and God as they grapple with unimaginable loss.
You knew somebody there. I just want you to stand up.
At the first Sunday morning church service since the Nippon Dynawave mill disaster, the room is heavy. The loss of the 11 men killed feels unbearable.
Most of the time people would say, wow, that was right in our own backyard. No, this was in our living room. This hit everybody very hard.
Members of the congregation putting their arms around those who knew the victims. Dan Derby worked in a paper mill for nearly 40 years and says that type of work is ingrained in the community.
We all kind of get pictures in our mind of what happened. Just a bunch of workers going to work, and all of a sudden everything's changed. Our hearts really go out to the families.
He and his wife Glenda are regulars at New Hope City Church, but say it felt especially important to be there in the wake of this tragedy.
We get our strength from the Lord. That's where we get it, so that's where we want to be, is in His house with His people.
During the service, members were asked to form 11 small groups, each given a name of one of the victims to pray for.
Norman Barlow, Dylan Miller.
Pastor Scott Olin explains how church can help in times of crisis.
I think just continuing to have a high value for community, a high value for people, a high value for love.
He says leadership is available for ministry and prayer, and that his church plans to help the families financially as well.
God's peace to the families, that's all we can say.
In Longview, Jake Holter, KGW News.
Well, with the remaining victims recovered from the Nippon Dynawave plant, we're hearing from the fiance of one of those victims, as well as the organizers of a vigil held Saturday evening. It's been a long, difficult week for the community of Longview. But for families and loved ones of those lost in the Nippon Dynawave disaster, it's been nothing short of a nightmare.
I've been here since Tuesday every day, hoping for him to come out alive.
But Patricia Kraft's hopes were extinguished on Saturday. Her fiance, Norm Barlow, was the last victim recovered from the implosion site.
I'm happy, but my stomach hurts because it's reality. Now you have that body.
Kraft tells us the 58-year-old was her high school sweetheart, describing him as a kind and loving person.
And like I said, he would do anything for you, and a great sense of humor. Wonderful man. Wonderful man.
On Saturday evening, a vigil was held to remember the 11 lives lost. Organizer Brittany Brown tells us the goal was to create a space for residents and family members to grieve.
This is gonna take decades to recover from in our community.
The incident robbing so many of their loved ones.
And now I'm going home to his cat, and I'm going home to a very empty place. And I can't ever have that love that I had with him because of what happened here.
We need to look out for each other and take care of these individuals as they grieve, and nothing else really matters than that.
In Longview, John Adams, KGW News. The Cowlitz-Wakiakum Central Labor Council and the union representing Nippon Dynawave workers have established a donation fund at the Lower Columbia Longshoremen's Federal Credit Union. People can also donate at Fiber Federal Credit Union and Red Canoe Credit Union branches. Now that the victim recovery is over, officials say an investigation into the cause of the implosion has started. Look for all of our coverage and how you can support the Longview community on KGW.com and on our free TV streaming app, KGW Plus. Well, I don't think we could ask for a better end to the month of May. Sunny skies all throughout the day and very pleasant temperatures as well. But get ready for a little taste of summer as we start off June. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is here to let us know how warm things are going to get. Joe.
John, just look at that scene out there above the downtown Portland area. Not a cloud in the sky, and that's what we're going to be looking into the next couple of days, and our temperatures will gradually warm up. Here's a live look now from our Wells Fargo tower camera. We're looking at a temperature of 70 degrees. Now, tomorrow, we're going to be looking at temperatures nearly 10 degrees warmer. I think there's a lot of locations will be right around 85, maybe 88 degrees potentially, and then we go from the mid 80s to basically seeing highs that we typically see in mid-late July, with temperatures by Tuesday right around the low 90s. So ridge of high pressure will be in place the first part of the week. Changes will be moving on shore by midweek. Now, this is just a two-day event basically, because by Wednesday things will cool off. So as we look at the weather headlines, the first week of June definitely feeling like summer, at least for the first 2 days. By midweek, clouds will start to roll in and we'll cool off pretty quickly. Late this week is when we could be finally seeing a strong system that's going to be bringing in a good amount of rain. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. New into our newsroom today, the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is searching for the suspect of a road rage shooting. Just before 2:45 this morning, emergency dispatchers got a 911 call from a driver who said someone shot into their car. This was in the area of Southeast Foster Road and Southeast Ritchie Road. There were 3 people inside at the time, but no one was hurt. The suspect's vehicle is an older blue Ford Expedition with a gold-colored bumper, no license plates, and a temporary tag in the rear window. If you have any information on this vehicle or the shooter, reach out to the sheriff's office. In Woodburn, a man is facing charges after attacking a woman and causing a standoff with police. Just after 7 on Friday night, officers were told that 29-year-old Donald Finlayson attacked a woman twice while in possession of a firearm. When police arrived, Finlayson shut himself into a unit at the Woodburn Villa Apartments. After about 2 hours while SWAT officers were on their way, Finlayson surrendered himself peacefully. Photos shared by Vancouver Fire Department showing some intense flames coming from a second-story home today. This was just after 11 this morning when firefighters responded to a home off Northeast 4th Avenue and Roth Street. They rescued one man who could not move by himself. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. It took nearly 3 dozen firefighters about 30 minutes to get the fire under control. Well, check this out. A new offering for those over 21 traveling through Portland's airports. Freeland Spirits Distillery just opened a new tasting room at PDX, and if you're willing to invest in it, you can get a free drink every trip through. Libby Dowsett brings us a look.
Oh, that's so cute. The founder of Freeland Spirits says the free small drink each time through the airport is for anyone 21 and older who invests $500 or more in the company's crowdfunding campaign. She says the campaign has already raised nearly $700,000 to support its new PDX tasting room, stocked with a rainbow of gin and bourbon choices.
At the full bar, you can have cocktails, you can do tastings.
CEO Jill Keeler says she's been working on this opening for 3 years to coincide with PDX's $2 billion airport remodel. She takes pride in the fact it's woman-owned and features other female-owned company products.
We're one of the first and only women-owned distilleries in history.
Keeler says bright sunshine on the shop's fanciful David Rice mural attracts all types of travelers.
The pink gin smells like a juniper plant in the forest.
She said, we should go see it. And I said, okay. And so I tried 5 things and you tried 2.
Colin Letson, in town for his son's graduation, tasted both the gin and the bourbon.
It's 10:30 in the morning. We're already getting after it. I like this. Why not?
Keeler says scoring a choice corner right past security is a glowing endorsement.
What's so amazing about the Portland Airport is that they really feature the best of Portland businesses in here, so we're among such great company.
She said grab a snack from a neighboring shop and bring it right in.
What else are you going to do with 3 hours before your flight?
At PDX, Libby Dowsett, KGW News.